Welcome back to episode 449 of the Farmers Inside Track, officially the world's best podcast for 2024, as announced by One IFRA, the global press organization. My name is Duncan Masiwa, and I'm your host for this episode, powered by Land Bank. We're diving deep into the world of farming, finance, and all things agriculture. Our guest is Craig Harrison, the provincial head of Land Bank in the Western Cape, and he's here to chat to us about something that's on every farmer's mind: how to keep the lights on and the tractors running when Eskom isn't playing ball. That's right, we're talking about the Agro-Energy Fund, a game-changing blended finance initiative designed to help farmers switch to alternative energy sources and power through power cuts. Over to Ivor Price, the co-founder of Food for Mzansi, who leads this conversation.
Great seeing you again, Craig.
Hi, Ivor. Nice being here.
Okay, so let's kick things off. What exactly is the Agro-Energy Fund, and why should every farmer in South Africa have this on their radar?
In order to address the alternative energy sources in the sector, the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development has established an Agro-Energy Fund at the Land Bank. A grant contribution of 500 million was committed by the department, which will require match funding from Land Bank. This is a blended finance instrument where DALRAD or the department will provide a grant on a sliding scale per producer category combined with a loan from the Land Bank. The farmer do not need to repay the grant portion.
That sounds exciting. So, believe it or not, after a few years of severe load shedding, things seem to stabilize now in South Africa. But the Agro-Energy Fund is, of course, about so much more. It supports the acquisition of alternative energy assets, if I have it correct.
So indeed, yes, the fund is beneficial in two ways. So one, it can guarantee that a farm has enough energy on hand when needed, such as during load shedding periods. Or second one, it reduces the producer's long-term electricity costs. Some producers experience immediate savings, while others may see it on a long-term saving. It does indeed help. At this point, although it seems that we've been stabilized, I think we should always just ensure that we have our ducks in a row.
Energy is, of course, a global problem, not just in South Africa. So you mentioned that this fund is a blended finance program. And I think in our world, it's a term everybody understands, but we can never assume that everybody knows. Can you break that down in simple terms?
So as previously stated, this is a blended finance instrument, which means it's a part loan, part grant. Loan provided by the Land Bank and the department provides the grant. So the loan, obviously, that needs to be repaid. The grant, there's no repayment commitments on that.
Let's talk specifics then. What kind of alternative energy solutions can farmers invest in with the help of this Agro-Energy Fund?
So the Land Bank expanded its product range to include the green farming facility. That will be basically the fund that we will be using that's going to be accompanying the Agro-Energy Fund. In conjunction with the Agro-Energy Fund, we've created a special installment sale finance product, and that product is then to fund the specific purchase of solar panels and batteries and everything that is basically around those things. In terms of modernization or installation or to cut down electricity use, that is basically what the bank has implemented or brought into their product range.
And it's not just for commercial farmers, right?
With this fund, this is probably one of the only funds that are there for all South Africans. So for all South Africans within the borders of South Africa. Because all of us, whether black or white, small or commercial, we are all experiencing load shedding. So basically, if I can just let you know who does not qualify for this fund. Foreign nationals and illegal immigrants do not qualify. Employees of government, state-owned entities do not qualify. There are cooling off periods for them. Politicians in public office cannot qualify. Politically exposed persons, part-time producers, regardless whether the farm owner has a farm manager in place or employed, they won't qualify. Distressed producers won't qualify, non-agricultural businesses, as well as double-dipping applications. Now, double-dipping applications where you've already been funded by government to acquire alternative solutions. You won't be able to apply for this fund again. And then the last one is off-farm processes. So these are anything that's not on a farm. So with this fund is purely for those who are in agriculture and who are farming.
And I cannot buy a tractor for it. It's only for energy solutions.
Only for energy solutions.
Okay, so for the farmers listening who are intrigued but maybe a bit hesitant, what is your advice to them about taking the plunge into alternative energy? Why should they be considering this?
So after evaluating your own electricity uses and energy costs on the farm, I think it's really important to understand what's happening in your business. And if you have a high need for electricity to farm and to generate income, you need to ensure that you understand what is your current consumption and what solutions are available. That is why it is really important. And just on that, so you get a due diligence report from an energy expert, and from there you can determine whether it is something that you need or not.
Where does one get this due diligence report?
That one is quite easy. You contact the land bank. There are relationships that the land bank has with certain stakeholders, and you can then access information from them. You can access service providers. So we need to ensure that people make use of accredited service providers, those who can really install these and also access proper suppliers who can then give you proper accredited installation, number one, and also ensure that the equipment that you're going to be purchasing is of great quality.
So I know from speaking to many farmers across South Africa, applying for funding can be very intimidating. Is there some sort of a secret sauce to putting together a winning application that will get a green light at the end?
The easiest way is to contact a relationship manager in your area where the land bank has certain offices. You may access our website, www.landbank.co.za, and those have all the contact details are listed there. You may also use our client portal, which is situated in the upper left corner on our page, and the relationship manager will then help you with the application process and help you put an application together.
Fantastic. Are all commodities covered by this Agro-Energy Fund? Regardless of what I'm farming, can I apply?
Thanks for that question, Ivor. Most of the commodities that require high energy input would then be able to apply. So your dairy farming, piggeries, poultry, field cropping, and horticulture. So those will be type of irrigation or ventilation, lighting, cold storage, heating, ventilation, milk machinery, those kind of things. So high energy consumption farms where you generate income. Agro-Energy Fund is not there to keep the farm lights on. It is to keep the business going.
And maybe in closing, Craig, what are the limits to this fund? Does it matter how big my dream is? Can I come get it financed?
There are certain grant caps. If your turnover is between 50,000 to 1 million, you can qualify for 70% of the value of the cost associated with that. The loan component will then be 30%. There's a maximum cap on within that smallholder producer category, and that is 500,000. Then on the next one, if your turnover is between 1 million and 10 million rand, it's a 50-50, so 50% grant, 50% loan. The maximum cap on that one is 1 million. To give you an example there, straightforward example is if your alternative solution is 2 million rand, 1 million will be grant, 1 million will be loan. And then large scale producers or mega producers, those are anything from 10 million turnover and greater. You can then qualify for 30% grant, and then there's a maximum cap on that of 1.5 million.
Great. Thanks for sharing your insights.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Craig Harrison, the provincial head of Land Bank in the Western Cape. Stay tuned for the next episode of Farmers Inside Track, where we'll dive deep into the application process to help you ace your funding application. For more information, visit www.landbank.co.za. And that's a wrap. Remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. From me, Duncan Masiwa, our technical producer, Megan van der Vent, and the rest of #Team Food from Zanzi, thanks for listening.